All right, we are here, got back from the gym. We need to get ripping here this morning. This car, I have someone interested in the chassis, thankfully. So I will be pulling the brakes, the 6-speed out of it. I've already pulled a lot of the stuff out of the engine bay. I have to pull the 6-speed out, got to pull some more mods. Pull the front mount off, the grill off, things like that. So we're gonna continue on this guy. Get that stuff pulled today. We have a lot to do just in general. We've got this one to part out. We've got this Outback to put a motor in. We've got a few people interested in this car as is with a blown motor. So I have to give them prices. We have to part this car out. We have over here a 14 Outback that we're fighting with some issues, and then a little bit farther over a 07 STI Limited that will need a motor. When I say we, I mean me. So I've got plenty to do, but let's get ripping on this one, get it in the barn. This method of getting cars in the barn that don't run is, you know, a little on the backyard side, but it is what it is. And we got a big hill. Might not look like a big hill, but there's by no means any way to push it without pushing it with a vehicle. And with a car like that, if it's a junkier one, I'll do it. But with a car like that, don't want to damage the rear bumper, especially if someone's buying the chassis. So. These things are huge. It's almost like they spray painted these. They look so nice to be spray painted though. Because all this is like painted, which is weird. Like, yeah, it looks like they're almost spray painted, but oh well, I guess. They look nice. But they are huge. But yeah, today we're taking off these guys, taking off the Brembos, taking off the rotors in the front. I think we're gonna leave the rotors in the rear so the e-brake works. Leave the suspension on. We're taking out the axles, the 6-speed. So we're taking out the 6-speed, the axles, the rear diff, and the axles, and the rear Brembos, of course. And then random stuff like this catch can. There used to be a brake duct kit here. We got this on the back we gotta take off. Random things like that. That's gonna be sold. But this is going to stay a rolling chassis. And I know the guy that is potentially buying this. And if he buys it, I'm gonna sell it to him like a rolling chassis. And then he's just gonna give me the parts back. I trust him. He's a local guy. So let's get pulling off these Brembos, rotors, and get this thing out of here for today. My brother needs the lift tonight, but we need to get rolling. There's one side done. Let's put the wheel back on and move to the other sides. I'm not going to record all of them just because it's the same exact thing, but I'll video pulling some other parts off and then pull the trans, pull the diff, and then hopefully we're out of here in a couple hours. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. I'm putting these on in case they don't sit right without the rotor on there, and I don't want to waller out those and damage those wheels. These ones, this one has a big bend in it, and yeah, they've just kind of been sitting around for a long time, so if I'm going to damage some wheels, I'd rather have it be this set. This part can be slightly physically demanding, and I like to make things more difficult. I don't know if I got something on the face, but it hit me in the face a little bit. So I like to get those out. Physically challenging, but the fastest, right? Right? Done here in the rear end. We've got to pull the trans, and then we can get this thing out of here. I'm gonna get the wheels on the rear here. I left the rotors on. I left the rotors on so that we can pull the e-brake, because the e-brake works well. So we can kind of just ease on the e-brake and coast it out of here so we don't have to winch it out, which is a pain. So let me go grab the 2 other purple wheels, throw those on, get the trans out, and we should be done. There she is. Transmission is out. Let's get the transmission out of the way, clean up a little bit. I'll roll this thing out, and that's gonna be it for today's video.